Meta's just added a big new targeting option for Instagram. It's one we've been wanting for ages. We've got it. That's great news. It's something we can really use and will really help us improve our results. And it feels great to be talking about Meta advertising, Facebook ads and Instagram ads in a positive light. It feels like a number of positive changes have been made recently. Long may it continue. Now, the new targeting option I'm talking about that is Instagram specific is the ability to retarget your followers. Before, you could target people that have engaged with your account on Instagram, but not specifically go after your followers. And there is actually quite a big difference between those two audiences. Particularly if you've been running ads on Instagram, there could be lots of people that have engaged with your account on Instagram that aren't actually followers, and your followers are going to be a warmer audience, more suited to your higher level offers and ready to take that next step than perhaps the broader anyone who's engaged with your Instagram account audience will be. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to create the custom audience out of your Instagram followers and set this up so you can actually retarget those people. And then I'm going to talk about some use cases around when you want to use this, because I think a lot of businesses can use this new targeting option. Okay, so I'm in an example Facebook ad account, and what we need to do is jump over to the audiences section to set up this, create this custom audience out of our Instagram followers that we can then use to retarget. So to do that, you want to click on these three little lines over here and then select audiences. It may well be up in your shortcuts like it is for me up here. If not, it's going to be down from the menu below. If I click on that, that'll bring you through to a page that looks like this. Now, if you've never created any custom audiences, lookalike audiences, things like that, you won't see anything in here. That's absolutely fine. You can ignore these. As I said, this is an example ad account for demonstration purposes. What I want you to do is find the Create Audience button, click on that, and then go ahead and select Custom Audience. Now we can see we've got two main sources for custom audience. We've got your sources, things like website visitors, email lists, etc. And then we've also got meta sources, so things within Facebook and Instagram. What you want to do is go ahead and select Instagram account and then click next. Now you can see the default type of Instagram custom audience that the Meta wants to create is everyone who engaged with this professional account. And if we click on this, we can see a little bit more information about exactly what that means. So this includes people who visited this profile or took an action on this post or ad, such as likes, comments, saves, carousel swipe, button taps, or shares. So you can see there might be many people that, for example, have liked an ad of yours who haven't actually gone on to follow. So the difference between this audience and this new one at the top here, people who started following this professional account, which is what I want you to select, could be quite significant. And this is going to be a smaller usually, but warmer audience that would be ready for your high ticket offers. I'm going to talk about more about that in a second. Once you've selected this event, you'll see that the time frame disappears, which is very, very interesting. They're not sort of setting a 365 max like we've got with other types of Meta custom audiences. There are different time frames associated with different types of custom audiences, but then you just want to go ahead and give this a name. So I might call this something like Instagram followers. Description's completely optional, and then I can go ahead and click Create Audience. Now, with most custom audiences, it takes a minute for it to get prepared for Meta to actually go ahead and create that. But once it has done so, you can see now the estimated audience size is below 1,000. It still says it's populating. That'll take a little bit of time to get set up, but once it is, we can jump back over to Ads Manager, and then we can create our retargeting campaign for this particular audience. So if you go ahead and click on this plus create button, we'll select a campaign objective. This is going to depend on what it is that you're actually offering. I would usually select something like sales or leads. I'm going to select sales for this example. Click continue there. And then if we go ahead and jump over to the ad set level, then we can scroll down to the targeting section. By the way, I'm not adjusting any other settings or anything like that. I've got lots of other videos that cover this. I just want to cover this specific new targeting option, which is really exciting in this video. And then in this custom audiences section, if I click into there, we then just need to select the Instagram followers custom audience that we just created. Now, there are a few other quick things you need to know around this audience and when you set it up within your ad set. Firstly, I would usually recommend deselecting Advantage Custom Audience. With that included, it's going to allow Meta to put your ads in front of people that are not included within this custom audience. Now, if we've got a specific offer or something we only want to put in front of our Instagram followers, well, we don't want this selected because that's going to put it in front of people that aren't our Instagram followers. So you want to go ahead and deselect that for the most part. Then we get into the location targeting section. Now, this works as an AND function. So because we've got a custom audience in here of our Instagram followers, The way this ad set is set up, our ads will only be put in front of people that are Instagram followers of mine and are also based in the United Kingdom. So keep that in mind. If you want to add in other countries, other locations, absolutely fine. You'll want to adjust that depending on your business objectives, where you can deliver your products and services, things like that. I'd strongly recommend that you leave other stuff completely open, like genders, age. That's all going to be taken care of because we're advertising to a custom audience. These are only our Instagram followers. They've sort of self-selected as people who are going to be interested in our products and services. So you don't need to mess with any of this stuff. Now you can set up the rest of this campaign from a campaign settings and ad set settings, and of course creating the ad, and then you are good to go. This ad will put in front of your Instagram followers in your chosen location only. Okay, so in a second, I'm going to describe when you actually want to use this custom audience, when you actually want to retarget your Instagram followers, because I think there are some really interesting use cases for this retargeting option. But before I do that, I just want to quickly tell you about our done-for-you Facebook and Instagram advertising services. So my company can create, manage, and optimize your Facebook and Instagram ad campaigns. We can most likely help you get better results and take the workload off your hands. If you're interested, there's a link in the video description below. You can click on that, book a call with one of my team members, simply to find out more information, see if we would be a good fit. Hopefully we get a chance to work together. Okay, so you might be thinking, why bother actually specifically retargeting your Instagram followers? Surely you can just post on your Instagram account. You can post reels and stories and people will engage there, surely, and they'll see about our products and services and purchase or not and all that sort of stuff. And that's just not the case. We know that over the last few years, or over the last many years really, Instagram has been reducing the amount of organic reach that you get on the platform. And if you take a look at the latest data, you'll see that most Instagram accounts have a potential reach of about 15% of their followers at any one time. That's usually around about the maximum you will reach. Now, of course, there are differences between accounts. Some will reach audiences organically that are much larger than their actual follower base, but that's very, very rare. The average account nowadays is around about 50% maximum. So of course you want to be able to try and reach from time to time the other people that follow you on Instagram who would otherwise simply not see your stuff. So that's reason number one. And reason number two is that if you post about your products and services, something that looks like an ad, even if it's not an ad, it's an organic post, that's just the sort of post that doesn't get much traction, doesn't get much organic reach, because people don't engage with those sorts of posts as much. So you get throttled reach because of that. But also, often these posts, let's say a story, for example, you're going to include a link to somewhere external. Could be another social media website, could be your website. Link in bio, y'all. And again, those posts definitely get lower reach for obvious reasons, because Instagram wants to keep people within the app. They don't want people leaving and going to websites and things like that. If you do want to promote your products and services to your followers and you're trying to do so organically, that 15% potential reach really does drop down. And you can run experiments with this. You could post the sort of stuff that you know your audience likes on Instagram, see what the organic reach is, and then try posting something that is much more promotional about your products or services, and you'll find that the reach on that post is significantly less than it is on other stuff, and you get a lot less engagement. So let's say, for example, you're running a sale and you want to make sure that your Instagram followers, which are going to be some of your best prospects, make sure that those people actually see the promotion, they see the sale and they know about it. The best way by far now is to run a retargeting campaign to make sure it's put in front of them, because as I've already described, you're not guaranteed to do so organically. Now, one of the really good things about a campaign like this is it doesn't need to cost a lot at all, because you're usually going to be advertising to a pretty small audience unless you've got a massive Instagram following, but it's going to be nothing in comparison to traditional Facebook and Instagram advertising campaigns where we're targeting in the millions often. You don't need to spend a lot. You could perhaps spend $20, $50, $80, something like that, if you've got a limited time offer, limited time sale, specifically putting that in front of your Instagram followers, and you could hit most of those people a good number of times and really make sure they're aware of it. And the return on ad spend from a quick, inexpensive little campaign like that is likely to be fantastic. So next time you've got anything that has any sort of urgency or scarcity around it, is it limited time, or are you only able to take on another 4 clients before you're fully booked up for the end of the year, or do you have limited stocks and once you've sold out of your 150 of whatever it is, it's simply not going to be available anymore? Anything like that is a perfect time to make sure that you get ads, you get your offer in front of your Instagram followers, and we can now do that with this new targeting feature, which is pretty cool. Another really interesting use case for this Instagram followers retargeting audience is to use it as part of an omnipresent content campaign. I often get questions around omnipresent content and people want to know, which audience should I target? They know that it should be a nice small audience, ideally a warm audience, and I think either specifically going for your Instagram followers or including your Instagram followers in with some other warm audiences, like people who've engaged with your Facebook page, perhaps people on your email list, could be a really good way to go with that campaign structure. You know these people are already warmed up, and with the omnipresent content campaign, you're able to warm them up further, to deliver value, to demonstrate your expertise, to move that person closer to the point where you're the only option they want to work with, you're the only business that they want to buy from. And I think a starting point of an Instagram follower, you've got a leg up on some of the other custom audiences or even cold audiences that you may use with an omnipresent content campaign. So I think we can use it really well there. Now, if you're watching this wondering what on earth is an omnipresent content campaign, it is one of my absolute favorite Facebook and Instagram ad strategies. It's a sales funnel structure, and it's something we use as part of our agency all the time. For certain businesses, it can perform incredibly well. I show you exactly how it works, why it works so well, and how to put it all together in this video here. If you're an expertise-based service provider or you offer something that isn't really low priced, it's a fantastic strategy. I'd strongly recommend you check it out. It might be the most important video of mine you ever watch.